Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Thoughts of the Anointed here again. How y'all doing? This just set in my spirit just now as I was preparing to get myself together to spend time with my Heavenly Father. Going over the scenario in my mind that I had a couple weeks ago around about Thanksgiving of forgiveness and the layers of forgiveness, because that's what I'm about to spend time with my Heavenly Father on. This popped in my spirit as I was playing out the scenario if it had gone on, if I had a much more calmer spirit and could articulate a whole lot better instead of being enraged and just being irritated and vexed. Because my parents are old. And when I say old, I mean getting to that point where they're old and set in their ways. And and change is like pulling teeth. And because I'm country, most country people have this theory that, young people, get the young people to do it. And then I thought to myself, I said, don't the word say the young and the youth grow weak and weary and can faint as well? Because you can't combat word. This is the word that you told me to get to know, get to learn. But yet when I combat your laziness with word, because you don't want to do it, you're tired, and you telling me to do it, and then when I tell you no, I'm tired, I don't want to, you call me lazy. I said, so how do you combat that? Because you can't combat and fight me on word, or else you just going to have to fight the Lord on his word. And I mean, he going to hit hard and hit accurately every time. So I'm not understanding. And this said in my spirit, he said, I see what they have done to you. And I've even seen everything that led up to you being formed in your mother's womb, X, Y, and Z. I've seen it all. And I've seen what you did in retaliation. Evil cannot beget evil. Because I have some things for you to do and things for you to do that's actually going to help them, I need to get you right because I know you hear me. So I'm going to get you right first. Not because you're the child, but because you're my child, and because we have things to do I have things for you to do that's hindering your growth. And because I know that you are in tune with me right now and you hear me right now, I'm going to help you. I'm going to get you together first so I can move you out the way. I said, what do you mean? He said, I need your heart right. I need your character right. So therefore I can do things. Because when evil is present, I'm not going to be in attendance. I'm going to kindly bow out and be like, whenever you get done. Because he ain't going to, he's not going, evil and godliness, you can't have both. You can't pray to God and dance with the devil at night. So I'm going to get you first together. Because not only what you're going to do is going to help them, but it's going to break the generational curse that they could have broken. But they're, of course, putting all responsibility and accountability on you. I'm going to get you together first. Of course, you're not going to like it because they still can continue to do the things that easily vex and beset you. But I need you to hold your peace and be still and let me fight this and know that I'm God. I said, okay. He said, anything that happens, I got you. I said, okay. He said, I need you to just chill out. Let me work. Just nod your head and just be like, yeah. I said, Lord, and all I could say was, yeah. Ooh, that kind of irritates my soul and my spirit because I'm not used to just being still and doing nothing. I've literally been working since I was 15, like since I could get a job. And I'm like, okay, this is gonna be a new thing for me because this is foreign. Like I said, Lord, your word says if a man don't work, he don't eat. So what am I supposed to do? He said, you are about my business. You are doing my work. So therefore, the things that concern me concern you. So I will since you are putting my will ahead of yours, I will make sure you eat. Not only the bread of life, but actual substance. You're not crazy. And the crazy thing about it is my appetite since getting off my cycle, and since even before getting on it, has changed to the point where I will only eat if I feel a headache coming on. I've been focused on staying hydrated more than eating. I actually haven't been craving anything. Lies, I take that back. I've been craving PMS stuff, but other than that, nothing. And that's how I notice that I've changed, and Lord is doing things only He can do, because certain things I don't have a taste for, I don't crave. And He keeps me up at night, but it's hard to go to sleep some days because He got so much going on up in here. Like, yield to it, give way to it, and let Him come in and do what He needs to do. Otherwise, you're going to have some sleepless nights. And I learned that the beginning of 2021, like from 5 in the morning to 5 the following morning. It's beautiful. But anyway, that's my thoughts of the anointed for today. Is that, Lord, you see what they're doing, and you see what I'm doing in retaliation because they hurt me. He was like, but you know better. And I'm like, so do they. Like, I'm not understanding. So do they. He said, but I'm going to get you together first, because I need you to do things. I can separate you from them and get them together. But what I need you to do, I need this to take place. Don't worry about them and what they're doing. Focus on me and what I told you to do. Just like who I told you your husband was going to be. I'm like, yeah. He was like, you consulted 2 other people. One that told you that he was coming, but you just didn't know when. And the other one, because that is my spiritual sibling, they gave me their input. And although bits and pieces of that is right, he actually came to me and told me, he was like, yes, just because this person is a spiritual vessel for me to speak through, yes. And then they turned around and spoke from their flesh. I said, oh, okay. He was like, this other person that you talked to, which I'm not mad at necessarily, but at the same time, because they have been through similar trials and tribulations, you get their different perspective on this. He said that my spiritual brother, he was like, I don't believe that's your husband. He said, I believe that you're attracted to the God in him, because I've never been spiritually attracted to nobody before. But the Lord sent him, put you in his line of sight. Put him in your line of sight for the simple fact of he's teaching you how to pray for your husband. I said, and then me being me, because again, I have full thoughts and I'm an overthinker. I said, why would he put this man in my line of sight to teach me how to pray for a husband if he's not my husband? And then the Lord, I think a few days later, he was like, so you consulted man on the word that I gave you, but what did I tell you? And I knew it was the Lord, because it was this still small voice. Was like, I know, I heard what they said, and I heard what you said, but what did I say? My word is law. That's fine and dandy that you got a different perspective. It's cool, because what I did, how I worked for them and how I worked for you was 2 different things. To fix, I ain't gonna say to fix, but the end result became the same. They got their spouse. But what did I tell you? I told you, matter of fact, at the beginning of the year, when I brought him into your line of sight, you can get excited. That's your husband, but you can't have him yet. And that's what I think is kind of vexing me. Like, I can't have him yet. Like, then don't show me something that I can't have, pimpin'. Right now, I want to touch it, hold it, feel it, rub on it, wash it. No, but you get the privilege of seeing me mold and shape him into the man that I've called him to be, ultimately your husband. And while you're watching him, I'm molding and shaping you too. I'm using one to mold and shape the other. That means your prayers are going to change. Your posture is going to change. Your heart's going to change. I said, okay. So never stop allowing yourself to be renewed and transformed. That's another thing dealing with the first part of this word, is because getting old and set in your ways, it stops you from evolving and changing with times and allowing new information to be poured in and the old information to be poured out. You could still remember, but at the same time, that's old software. It does not apply to the next year. That's just like our cell phones. Every so often, you're going to have to get a new cell phone because it's no longer going to be compatible. Just like Eli and Samuel. Eli couldn't hear no more, but Samuel could. But Eli, I hope I'm not getting their names mixed up, because I always get their names mixed up. And he went to his master and said, Master, have you called me? He said, no. Matter of fact, if you hear this voice again, tell him the following. Like, I can't hear no more, but I know the response that you should be making. So instead of helping, you're hindering. So don't be a hindrance to those above you, beneath you, or those that you're destined to help, or those that are destined to help you. And I was just like, okay. So those are just some of the anointed thoughts that I'd be having throughout the day. Minus the first part was actually an anointed thought. But y'all go with God and be blessed. Stay gifted and heavily lifted.